What's up, guys? Today I want to talk about scavengers. These guys have a pretty bad rap in this game right now. A lot of people are talking about how they think they're worthless, and they even go so far as to save scum whenever a child grows up into one. If you don't know, you can get a scavenger sometimes when you fail the trial to grow up to become a warrior or some other class. But I think that's actually part of the charm of Thea for me. They're pretty iconic because you're supposed to feel like you're struggling to survive in this world. And also, it's really fun to try to figure out how to make the best use of every character, especially the ones that are not super powerful. But that said, I think that scavengers can actually be pretty powerful mages. Female children can grow up to be witches, but males don't have an alternative to that. Except scavengers actually have decent magical stats, and they can fulfill that witch role. Let's take a look at the stats of my two scavengers in this party. I believe that they start out with 6 Mysticism and 7 Destiny. This one's gone through a few level ups. We're up at 9 Destiny. This other one is even stronger. He's gone through a few more level ups, and he's all the way up at 14 Destiny, which is pretty much on par with the Witch. Now, the real reason that these guys make good mages is they can get the Strength of the Swarm skill. That makes it so that every character that's placed on the board after them makes this character's attack power go up. And the tooltips are all wrong, actually. The numbers on the tooltips are not accurate, but you'll see once I show you the battle that it's actually quite significant. It also says in the tooltip that it affects delay. Currently it does not. We'll have to see whether or not that's intended. But if they make it affect delay, then it's just going to be even stronger because that'll ensure that your scavenger always goes first. You can also get the Soul Tear skill, which is also based on Destiny. Synergizes pretty well with your stat growth. And it'll be really useful for the conceptual challenges where you cannot use the skills from your weapons. They're also really good at gathering, because Trash Attack, one of their innate skills, gives you passive increased gathering. There are 2 main AoE spells that scale really well with Destiny. The first one is Ground Shake, which is found on 2-handed relics, and the second one is Chain Lightning, which is found on the 2-handed codexes. Now there's an issue with codexes currently that allows you to create a legendary version of it, which has Chain Lightning, out of just fur leather. But once that issue is fixed, you'll have to use full mythical leather to create that codex. But the 200 relics with Ground Shake are actually super easy to obtain. I'll show you how in design mode right here. All you need is quartz and any tier 2 leather. So pick scaled, fur, or enchanted, and you choose the elemental version of that weapon. And here you have Ground Shake. Now, I only have 1 star in the crafting recipe, so it's a 1.2 multiplier, but if you have 2 stars, it'll be a little bit stronger. It'll be a 1.3 multiplier. The equipment that I have on right now is by no means overpowered. I'm only using Ground Shake with the 1.4 multiplier, which is just slightly stronger, and Chain Lightning with the 1.6 multiplier is, I think, the weakest possible version of Chain Lightning. My other characters also don't have anything good. Nobody has any jewelry. All these armors are quite mediocre. They all have random pets, just like I can summon some meat shields in the front row. I have a warrior. You can summon a demon, and my witch has summon on living, but I'm not using the maxed out summon on living because those are really powerful and it'll make anything really easy. But we're going to try the battle with this party, so nothing overpowered going on. And let's go in and fight this bee's nest. This is a difficulty 7. It shouldn't be too difficult. The enemy has a lot of weak units, it appears, but it shouldn't really change anything, even if it's one much bigger enemy, because they'll be putting out clones of that enemy and then taking like triple damage off the same AoE attacks. I'm going to put out my guy with Strength of the Swarm first. And the second guy I put out, I'm going to put my other scavenger out that has Chain Lightning. As you can see, the first guy's attack damage went from 12 to 14. I'm going to let the opponent play out their cards first, and I'm just going to put either summons or warriors out in the front. We're just going to have to take a little bit of damage. Okay, so they only played 2 guys, strangely, but still just going to end up summoning. Guess I'll put my warrior out here. See, you can place the demon. I have 2 more AP, which means I could place I guess I'll just put you out here. I'm gonna throw some daggers. You're gonna be careful when you're using really weak summons and you face somebody with retaliation. So you can see, she actually just killed herself, that summon, because the retaliation did 4 damage to it. Okay, so we have to attack their hand. Alright, same deal in this round. As you can see, my Scavenger with Strength of the Swarm now starts the second combat round with 21 attack. This is because stat boosts like that, from Strength of the Swarm and from skills like Inspire, and also stuff like Hunter's Mark that weakens the enemy, those things persist through combat rounds. So the longer a battle drags out, then the stronger that your character's AoE is going to be. And it's going to end up being really, really strong. All you need to do is make sure that you can tank some hits in the front row. So summons a good way of doing that. In this case, this warrior can actually go before that beast, so I'm not concerned. This boar is probably fine. Oh, it's a wolf, not a boar. And yeah, this demon was not useful. Just put you out again to throw some daggers. With these weaker enemies, obviously, I could also just try to use some skill that decreases the delay of my Scavenger. So if I go first, then I'll just kill them all at once. But if you don't have that type of skill, then it's perfectly fine to just tank the hits in the front row for 1 combat round. And as long as they're all going to be killed off in 1 turn, then you have nothing to worry about. We're all the way up at 30 damage now. So even though the second guy has 14 Destiny and this guy only has 9 Destiny, his damage is now at 30 to all enemies, whereas this guy's damage is at 22 still. So I ended up running away from that battle because it was just going to be the same thing over and over. I didn't want to bore you to death, but I think you got the idea. Scavengers are actually pretty easy to build into a pretty powerful mage. They're not going to be as strong as witches for the most part, but in battles where you go more than 1 combat round, they can actually become stronger than witches. They also have some pretty unique dialogue options. So don't worry if you get a Scavenger, somebody fails their trial and they come back as a Scavenger. You should actually be pretty happy about it. I really enjoy getting Scavengers in my playthroughs, and I think you should too. If you liked the video, please click like, subscribe, please leave some comments, let me know what other content you'd like to see in the future, and I'll see you in the next one, guys.